يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي ملائكته يصلون على النبي تعالى وسلم تسليما. سبحان على المرسلين والحمد لله.
Amen. Shukran, Imam C. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God, Creator of heaven and earth, and you who create all humankind throughout the whole universe in your image and in your likeness, we continue to call upon your throne of grace, of mercy, of compassion, of love, and of forgiveness. That, Lord, you look kindly upon the human race. Look upon our human frailty, our sinfulness, and our wickedness, the things that we do to one another, which are shameful. We ask, Lord, that at this time the wind of change will blow heavily throughout the whole wide world, and that the love and the fear of God will saturate in the hearts and minds of all human beings, so that the love of God will be the attitude, will be the order, will be the action of the dealings of mankind to humankind. And as we continue our sittings here, Lord, we continue to ask that you grant those witnesses that will be coming forward the boldness to be able to speak the truth, and grants the commission also the discerning spirit to discern between truth and falsehood. We continue to ask that you keep the populace also in perpetual patience, so they will, with patience, allow the due process of the law to take its course. And you, the judge of all mankind, will bring justice to the satisfaction of all. This we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, Bishop Odeko. Council, if we are ready to proceed with the witness, please go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, commissioners and members of the audience. May I ask that the witness be ushered in, please, and we are ready to proceed. Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Colley. You may be seated, please. The interpretation services, are you guys ready? Thank you very much. Mr. Colley, welcome back to the TRRC.
Mr. Colley,
and may I remind you that you're still under oath?
Yes. Yes.
May I ask, before we start, are you clearly understanding the female interpreter?
Yes, I am understanding her.
Are you having any difficulty understanding any aspects of her interpretation?
If I do not understand, I usually ask her to repeat.
Thank you very much. The reason why I am asking these questions is to ensure that you know exactly what is going on you know exactly the questions asked, so that you may be better able to give your testimony.
Mane wakami mande kengi puru ama mangpumambi au on jay kengi dire kang furi fanu manje fu set nu janjam fo pour mbongol nu jabe pour mbe buraka bu manu buraka bu mole mbu jow jak.
Yes. Mr. Colley, let me remind you once again that it is a criminal offense to lie before this commission, and it is also a criminal offense to lie on the oath in this country.
Nane hanibe jat omborka la nyala asenkan wana adandale mufuken comme erege frima fanu manyi fu bajot tan la ko nyaban tan kalimo ban luweti gambe mangutuma.
Yes, Imaimo.
Yes, I know that. Okay. Let us proceed. Yesterday, before we left, we were talking about the beatings of prisoners that occurred right behind your office.
Nane fuken balaw bana kat uita ta kasanken mat ala bala ken kasanken etake la ko me take dir officer bulan ka bati officer yoli
at the headquarters of the Gambia Prison Service.
Headquarters at the Gambia Prison Service.
Could you tell us about that incident? What happened?
Nyamata pungo nuregoli kuyu mane ejor menof nak fakilia.
That was what I've said yesterday. I said that I heard that prisoners were brought to that place.
But in the officer name?
But I was in my office.
Attending other visitors?
Attending to some other visitors.
So I was busy on administration.
I was busy on administrative matters.
So,
I know, I can confirm they came there, but I could not tell. I heard them shouting.
Officers and prisoners?
Both officers and prisoners.
But you concentrated,
but I was still concentrating on my work.
With a visitor Jalambiro?
With the visitor that came visiting.
And after that, what happened?
You
were concentrating on your work with that visitor that came. And proceed, please, and tell us what happened for the rest of that day. That day.
Wow, can if nakafakili aftu?
Nani kukam at the end of the jam to furim
After some time, I do not hear anything from them, and they return to the main yard.
With the prisoners?
With the prisoners.
That's it?
Yeah, do kept. More kept John.
That is what I know.
Or is it, this is the lie I want to tell the commission?
Furim fanu manji au fanu mai mada furim le faju budget furim fa bajoe fonu mangebe rek commission
Mono kamon regenya kokula mba kujit mi kulingi bedo mile 2.
Like I said, they were returned to the main yard in mile 2.
But this is not what you know. This is the lie you want to feed the commission.
Nane urukan tu wo bajo mi fana kafakili afde urukan kam furim fana mangebe rek ka en ka gajo rek di commission.
You know gajo di fe?
Why should I lie? What I know is what I am saying here.
All right, okay, thank you very much. Let's dissect what you have said. You said, I heard that prisoners were brought to that place. That's what you said, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And you confirm again You just told the commission a minute ago that I heard that prisoners were brought to that place.
Nyana no seten hani bejat mande ko aw none commissioner nu janjang mande ko boko prisoner ko ngalli nga beto di place tan manji mande ko to kom.
Yes?
Yes, I said so.
But isn't that a lie?
Ane ro kantu furi kagajo.
Fukajo bo bondre me iro talbe na hujir le mbebo ni jenya kanyosoro ko dame prisoner diko officer.
How could that be a lie? I said it here, that when they brought them there, I had some arguments between the prisoners and the officers.
Easy. Just answer the questions. You don't have to open it too much by getting into issues you are not asked. Just answer the question.
Nane ko mu yente rek wana akeng nu jabi wo tak mu jow ngeen ko sankena na hu sanke man te kurin bike bana kenguti awu sanken tan remi rek na nu jabi to mureto.
You did not just hear that the prisoners were there. You organized for the prisoners to be brought to that place. Isn't that correct?
Ane o seni mateko awu jamu to ke mateko prisoner ko ngalinga beto de bare aw man kameno aw sene furimaf mami ko nguru ko prisoner beto mi jingol ko ngol ko kawan ko ren ko kan.
Asene ora chile nyesen ora chila.
Who gave that order? It wasn't me.
Okay, may I ask that the testimony of Ibu Jame be played, please, and you would hear that you ordered that those prisoners who were alleged to have been involved in the mobile phone saga be brought to the headquarters.
Ane nyaaw jinte na video yeti Ibrahima Jammeh na sem mesi de yelo dire nane onare nane aw sene frimaf mi ko nguru ko prisoner kala kan mani me ko regere ko sofisa ko yete mobile mbe ko ngalli be babu officer yoli headquarters yoli pour mbe ko ngolen ko kiskisi ko yete mobile.
Obi-Wan, could you kindly play that video, please? I can see one of the legal officers going inside the Obi-Wan to have that evidence played. Okay, I guess that is it. Mile 2, please.
Fete fango bulo ma betale mo lipoto ye melno bute mile 2 kasoko.
Yes.
Now tell us about who you tortured.
Saying afanyeng ite le ma beta jumanyo le la liparo.
Okay, this was one fateful Thursday. Whilst we are on parade, the Director General was addressing the parade. The then Operation Officer Ibrahim Sise, the Chief Officer Kalilu Sane and Lamin Jabang,
Chief Officer Kalilu Sane and Lamin Jabang
came with a complaint to the parade ground.
Inata molbe parade ke kandamiro nini kole akolo na rajemealon ko kole akolam
that they caught a mobile phone and some drugs.
Ko e mobile dolle murane sira mafengo
in some prisoners.
Anu ya muta kasolan ko le bulu.
When they told that to DG,
bri yo fo nyaton ko e
whilst on parade,
wato men parade la
DG then now instructed them
to DG narana kamodi
them to bring them to headquarters and take their statements.
Puri sinati
them take their statements.
Puri sinati korda ba nyinto kasoron ko la korda ba nyinto puri ye nyininkarol ninjabiro sikunu itema.
He then instructed the former Deputy Director Yaya Jaju
to narana kamodi anolan ko la korda tiyo nolan ko la Yaya Jaju
joined them in assisting them to
kafu mai saji asima koi
so that they can go into the bottom of the truth to know how the mobile and the drugs you came into the place.
Isa je se ko nyimbe lonno nyi mobile ni nyi sira ma fengol nyi ngako nyi sorono.
Enough. You instructed for those prisoners to be brought to the headquarters.
Nane au fanyi David au semi free ma.
Isn't that
ku prisoner be babu headquarters yoli.
Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
And just a minute ago, you told us you only heard they were there.
But you did not know anything about it.
But minute I would nyam manu reg mi dire none. Awno e ka wasi ka wasol no jambe di ka nyosorak di ko polisak. Bare aw reg tum ko ngali bero sendo frema me ko ngali beto.
Why are you lying to the commission?
No, on a problem here.
It's a different date. No. This was a different date. It was in the same day.
Okay. Tell us about the different dates.
The day I was informed about the discovery of the mobile phone, I asked them to take them to the hall.
Investigate those responsible to be charged.
For them to conduct an investigation and those responsible to be charged.
And then?
Yeah.
And the second one?
Yeah.
Then the following day.
The following day,
headquarters again.
They were brought to the headquarters again.
And what happened on the second day?
That was the day I was referring to, that I had them arguing.
Mr. Colley, you are playing games with the commission.
Mr. Colley, cut commission.
And you have to be very careful. You ordered that these prisoners be brought into the headquarters. That is the truth, isn't it?
Yes, I have said it here, that I was the one that gave the order.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they were taken right behind your office, correct?
Like I said, I had the prisoners and the officers arguing behind my office.
Just answer the question.
Yes.
They were brought behind your office.
Yes.
And
yes.
You instructed the recruits to join the officers behind your office.
Ban au usemi furima ku officer Colley kasi kunako kunab de kun officer Colley ka kele ku man ku tek ku prisoner
senior officers ni assign buroko.
I only assigned the senior officers.
Nyako ku invite members of the officers.
So where the senior officers invite other members of the prisons, I would not be able to know.
But this is not true in this particular instance.
You know
that it's not true in this particular instance.
Like I said, I only assigned the senior officers. So if they would invite other junior officers, I wouldn't be able to know.
Okay.
Since I was still in my office.
Okay. You see, David, this was a whole operation that you guys conducted, correct? It was a whole operation of search and arrest of the inmates, correct?
Yes, I gave those instructions.
From NIA?
Because I was called from the NIA.
That is fine. All right? And you did not only instruct the senior officers, correct?
Investigation.
Then how would they have joined the investigations if I do not order them to do so?
Okay, let's look in your statement. In the first statement, indicated that I ordered the recruits to do the searches.
No, no, you say sento monone au sene free maf ku officer kasi kuna mi ngole ko kambro ka banu mammi.
Is that true?
Malegen.
Yes.
Yes, I did that.
And it is still this search party that conducted the investigations, correct?
Bane ka fa yanu boñ mi man ko joku wiste ku yete mobile ko fang la mu boñ mi kulan ko joku kan enda aresak so fe yoli
nani same instruction pour man ko jaw ko search.
When I gave the instructions for them to conduct the search,
Jame wala comme training school commander.
Jame was the training school
Ibrahima
commander.
Jammeh.
Ibrahima Jammeh.
Neno jaw mani kuru manja ji search.
I instructed him to go with some recruits to go and conduct a search.
Because they are neutral.
Because they were neutral.
Because I know them.
We understand that.
no problem.
Let me go ahead.
No, you have just answered the question. It's not
okay.
necessary for you to go ahead.
Okay.
Let's exercise discipline, answer the questions, and then let's move on.
Wala hani jatu mana husata babra au jabi rek manyanu kontina.
And it is that group that actually conducted the search. Ibrahima Jammeh and his recruits from the training school.
Yes, he was the one that led the search because he was the training school commander.
You could have simply answered yes and we move on. You don't have to continuously remind us that he was this,
yes.
he was that, he was that. Just answer yes or no.
Yes.
And it is this group that arrested the prisoners and brought them to headquarters, correct?
Yes.
Headquarters.
Yes.
And this group comprised Ibrahima Jammeh and the recruits.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is the same group that came behind your office with the prisoners.
In closed door.
I could not tell because I was in closed doors.
But
I can tell that officers with some prisoners came there.
But it is also not true that you did not know what was going on.
It is the truth because they never returned to me and informed me as to what they had with the prisoners.
But that also is not true.
It's true to me.
You are giving a false story because you want to save yourself from responsibility.
Instruction from so you broke.
My role was to conduct the search as the instructions came from the NIA that I should conduct a search, and that's what I did.
No, you ordered that these people be tortured to confess and to produce the mobile phones. Those were your instructions.
Searching now, search the cell.
When they were conducting the search in the cells, they did not beat any prisoner.
Yes, but they beat them right behind your office, 3 meters away from your office.
Prison can office can open.
I have been saying that here, that my office is not open.
Could you face the commissioners when you speak?
No, but you are facing to me, then I'm talking to you too.
Yes, but face the commissioners.
okay.
To the interpreters, yes. Face the commissioners, okay? These people were beaten 3 meters away from your office.
Yes, could you legitimate office behind my office?
Could you interpret his answer?
Yes, they brought them behind my office.
And they were stationed 3 meters away from your office.
Office premises.
I knew they were on the office premises.
What I have just said is that they were brought behind your office, correct?
I have said that here.
And you were aware that they were behind your office when all this thing was going on?
If they are behind my office, what do I do? I wasn't the one that brought
just
them there.
answer the question. They were behind your office, yes or no?
Yes.
I have said it here. That
Okay,
yes,
but spare us the other rambling and just answer the question. Otherwise, we will never finish.
Yes.
And behind your office, where they were, it was just 3 meters away from the building that you occupied.
I have not measured and cannot tell, but I know they were there.
Exactly. And you could hear them talk?
Yes, like I said here, I heard the noise when an argument ensued between them.
And you could hear them talk to each other?
That is what I have said, that I heard them talk between themselves. They were arguing.
And you were aware that your officers were there together with the prisoners you wanted investigated?
Yes.
Yes.
And you heard agitated conversations, real arguments, loud arguments. Correct?
The arguments that they had between them, I cannot tell, but then I heard them shout. That I can verily say.
And if any one of them was crying, you would have heard the person also.
Yes, I said that I would hear.
And on this particular occasion, did you hear people crying and shouting?
That is what I've said, that I've heard them.
And they were beaten.
If they were beaten, I don't know, but I heard them shout.
But you just said you heard them crying.
But yen moranga ni janjam fukao boy jam ni fukao ni jame.
That is what I've said. I heard them shout, but I did not hear them beating them.
No, you said several things. You said you heard them shout. You heard them cry. That's what you said.
Yes, that was what I said.
So now you're telling us that they were not beaten.
I cannot tell whether they were beaten or not, but I can verily say that I heard them shout.
And you heard them cry.
I also heard them.
So you think grown adults would just sit there and start crying just out of nothing, for no reason at all?
Jame, that was at that area, should be the person that would know.
Yes, Jame has explained what has happened.
Just Jame has not said they were beaten.
Okay, and is that the reason why you also are saying that they are not beaten?
Because I didn't see.
But
what I saw and what I heard is what I am saying.
yes, but you heard them cry. Why would people cry? Why would grown adults like them be crying? These are your prisoners. You have ordered that they be brought for an investigation. You hearing them cry behind your office. Did you care to find out why they were crying?
Like I said, I had a visitor in my office. I know if they are ready with whatever they're doing, they will come and report.
As if you knew that whenever they were finished with the beating, they will come and report to you.
That is what they should have done.
So obviously, you knew what they did with the prisoners. They beat them to confession. And you were sitting in your office hearing everything.
Like I said, I was concentrating on my
report now. Boss, you can searching Madi Manu,
So if the investigating team are ready, they should come back and report to me and say this is what we did, boss.
And Ijame did come back to you to report. But we are not concerned about that. You believe that the beating is lawful, isn't it, according to the act? Beating is lawful according to the act.
Yes.
So for you as a prison administrator, in certain circumstances you can beat your prisoners.
Yes. Evidence.
If the prisoner refuses and we have evidence against the individual,
confess.
He must confess.
But this is the issue. He must confess. and you beat them to confess. That's the procedure, isn't it?
Normally, what kind of infighting officer the prisoner?
Normally, where there is an infighting between officers and prisoners, and we have evidence against them,
and evidence is and
if you believe the prisoner is about to destroy the evidence or hide, when they are within their mates in the mania, they would not talk. So you'll have to bring them outside.
We are listening.
Sanken. Nano continue lomba intene.
Okay. Kubinya be di pankuche you au mobile officer wanya au be kakaje for what?
So if they bring them out, they will now ask, you were caught with a mobile phone. Why do you attempt to destroy the evidence?
So you a struggle your problem.
So that struggle would be the resulting problem to what had happened.
And the struggle would be the beating.
Yeah. So
that they must confess. I'm just using your words.
Already, surface of the article, the personioli.
The issue of confession would be already they were caught with the article.
It's just
where we said no was the destruction of the evidence.
In this particular instance.
What I clear?
Yes.
Was any officer beaten?
Could take officer. Officer Bakoba take care officer.
What do you want in mind? Be correct more.
I cannot tell because I was not told.
The operation
those that went for the operations never told me.
Was a struggle to prisoner Tama and mobile.
But I was informed equally that there was a struggle between themselves and the prisoner so that he would not destroy the phone.
Okay. And do you believe that on this particular occasion it was justified to beat the prisoners? To make them confess?
A prisoner never right, my defend case yola.
Prisoner has a right to defend.
But a prisoner can very aggressive to an officer and for defend.
But where the prisoner becomes aggressive, the officer would always defend.
We understand that is the right of self-defense. We are not talking about that. What we are saying is, according to your understanding, on this particular occasion, it was justified under the act to beat the prisoners.
Yes.
Let me ask the question again and listen carefully. On this particular occasion, it was justified under the act to beat the prisoners. Is that your position?
Yes,
yes, where he insists. Where he insists to give us what we need.
For he will be given 12 slash?
Of course he will be given 12 slash.
And you accepted that these guys should be beaten 12 slashes.
Yeah, I'll find mama.
But officer can the act.
But the officers there knows the act.
There
was no need for me to tell them as to what they would do.
I agree. But there was this expectation that based on your understanding of the act, that these guys would be given 12 slashes. Or 12 lashes.
Yes.
And this understanding was held by you and all the other officers.
Manjo you, manji mi matiko luwe SNS mbi taki mom au nu sense from fakili afo au fangi no ngafo kuroka Colley pop ko ngafo officer Colley.
If loi SNM.
What the law permits?
Loi SNM wo actum.
What the law permits was what they acted on.
And clearly the law permitted beating them 12 lashes each.
Ban se said matiko luwe yo basene matiko ana kajenja jiteko kul kono kunyen gaba.
And
Yes.
And that is what was done.
Moko kameno.
Moko kameno.
Yes.
And you were aware of it.
Ban au numa manji.
Even if I knew, they also know about it.
Thank you very much. Finally, you have accepted that these people were beaten right behind your office, and you were aware of it.
Kama sasa nyame matiko au numa unusonso matiko kama buku kutekiteki babulenga bati officer yoli parce que au musata nyamo mujak tuona sofi matiko numa manyi matiko buku ko batekeri bulenga bati officer yoli
manje inyoso nire.
But I've never denied that. I said it.
So you accept that your prisoners were beaten right behind your office by officers designated by yourself.
Kama mo kameno au buku officer ko kana formi mbi ku teb ku la ku beba bulenga bati officer yoli man ku teki mo kameno.
I have said it here.
Thank you very much, David Colley. You spent a lot of time denying torture of prison inmates.
Abaraka woto David parce que pio bala be song nyaaw jikara luwe yo po bone sanke meno.
Are you aware that all these prisoners were grouped together in one location?
Ane mate po song mate ko ku prisoner ko banna peri tinta kon group tinta kon.
Ba ku jala bedi headquarters. Ku jala in group ko.
When they came to the headquarters, they came in groups.
And do you know that that is unlawful under your act?
Mante umu manji mate ko luwe clear ya ngami mutaki. Umu manji mate ko luwe ema mutumo.
Investigation. Your luwe sincere.
The law has permitted investigations.
We are not talking about investigations. We are talking about beating of prisoners.
Alawle bakasanken enda investigation ane tekeyoli numba kasankena.
They were all gathered in one place and beaten there, right behind your office.
Obangali ko tu kuna protinta kon manku teki belanka bati office yoli.
I have said that here.
Good. And I am telling you it is unlawful.
Under
this law,
prison act
to beat one prisoner to the hearing of another prisoner. You did not know that, did you?
The law that they broke was the same for all of them. So why should you hide in bringing one after the other?
Yes, but clearly you do not understand. The prison law says that you should not beat a prisoner. You should not carry out corporal punishment to the hearing of other prisoners. And that is Rule 77, sub-rule 2 of the prison rules.
Prison Act Rule 77,
sub-rule 2.
Sub-rule 2.
You did not know that, did you?
I know.
Could you say again?
I know it.
But your prisoners were beaten in presence of one another.
But nanko lako me take ko prisoner. Ko bana peri ko take ja amu to man lako ya mama ka je.
Ko ku je in group ko manyi bu kunage eno mate ko kunage mate in group kunage correcto mo.
They were brought in group by the officers. So they were the officers that know whether they were beaten one after the other or they were beaten as a group. They are the officers that know, and not me.
But this was happening right behind your office.
Right in behind, not front. But not front.
Yes, when you say behind my office,
round.
You were hearing them.
I do not deny hearing them. I have said that here several times.
Okay, so let's move on to another point. Your prisoners were beaten. Each of them was beaten several times.
I wasn't there.
12 slash one of Seni.
But I know they should have given them 12 slashes. So if they go above 12,
they will not tell me.
They would not.
David, you said they must confess.
Nani David, nuone in focus sanken.
Ku confess ya. Kuseni 12 slash. Confess?
Yes, because if they are given the 12 lashes, they will confess.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So the whole objective of the beating is for them to confess, isn't it?
Ya hama yolu yete teke tu anji teke nya mo puru ko sankende.
That is what I've been saying. I have accepted that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Colley, for accepting that your prisoners were tortured.
Nani oto baraka Mr. David no song nyamata ko ko prisoner kiya ko batekeri.
I will not waste any more time on this issue of torture.
Nani nyaita pienta do kasangana kati etake mante kote kote nyaita piento.
And now I'll just move on to say that I'll just leave the issue of torture completely.
Nya kuyet kasankana kati etake kuadi ka etake nya pana kateyo pana aneyo babu nya mubana yo mujabe etake fereng.
But are you aware that you are responsible for that torture as Director General of Prisons?
Nani bare mante umumanya matiko kuyetu yanku kaminya mumeteke utu anunga mukan matiko au kane nunga roko matiko kuyu au kane di au.
Are you aware?
But in the commanding officer.
Because I was the commanding officer.
No, you say Nje d'accord. He said Nje d'accord because I was commanding officer. That's exactly what he said, isn't it? And Nje d'accord means I agree. Isn't that what you said?
I'm the commanding officer.
This is what I'm saying, that I am the commanding officer.
What I was trying to say is that was not what was interpreted. Okay, he said, Nje d'accord because I was commanding. So you take responsibility for that torture.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, David. Today is a new David Colley. Yes, that's very good. Now, let us move on and deal with your prison officers.
Yeah.
The torture was not even limited to the prisoners. You extended it to your prison officers.
Nane eteke nyauja bet enda ku prison officer Colley. Nane eteke fangere utoto buko kano manyi mi ko manko kulidi de marayoli de. Nane bare ejo mantebe hanni ko karoke midi karoka kiya prison officers to eteke na egor.
What do you say? Are you saying to beat my officers?
Yes.
No.
But you would imprison them
ban nukula ko
unlawfully.
ban luwesini tisemba mukuli bara sofiluko.
Yes, loi to.
Yes, but there is a law.
And tell us about the law.
Nyawre go luwesini misemba mambu sof koraka kole ukul.
Officer offended that.
Where an officer offended.
The detriment of the administration of the prison.
To the detriment of the administrations of the prisons.
If you are called upon for a questioning,
if you
we
deny,
keep you.
We'll keep you.
Yes, but tell us the process.
Nyawre go limanje meno manje kanore meno.
Like I have said, where an officer has been accused and he is called upon for questioning, if he refused to accept,
for the investigation,
we detain such an officer for further investigation.
And where would that be?
Yo bobo yente mekane.
Prison.
It would be in the prison.
And someone like Anabi?
Comme anan akaminang Anabi.
Anabi Jammeh?
Anabi Jammeh.
Yes.
Abdou Jammeh?
Abdou Jammeh.
Are you aware of his detention?
Of course.
Boko tu no manjimati ku office of kunen.
Where was he detained?
Bobe ku sofo kukul.
Mile 2.
Where in Mile 2?
Mile 2
confinement, where I was before.
The same place where I was before. That is the confinement.
You have to make him taste what you tested.
Ya pankankan nang wante apo mana ajuko na apo musmujo.
No,
that is the only area you could keep them.
And that is the security wing.
Bamboka mi security wing.
And which law gave you the authority to do that?
It's in the act.
Like I said, it is in the act.
Yes, can you tell us which section in the act gives you power to detain a prison officer at the security wing, at the confinement wing?
Now, Section 27 of the Prison Act. The powers of the power of arrest and remand the officer. Are you following that?
Yes, I am.
Any prison officer may arrest without warrant.
Why don't you look at Section 28? 28.
Okay, Section 28.
But let's start with 27.
I am telling you, 28 is the right section. Just
28.
Any prison officer accused under Act may be confined in any prison quarters.
Okay, in any prison quarters, that's one.
Prison quarters.
And prison quarters would be where the officers live, correct?
And prison quarters, yes. Officer kukineme.
Okay, continue. Continue.
Nano continue follow reading.
Continue. Or
allocated for prison or or guard room. That
is where the police would usually sit or prison officers would normally sit.
Okay,
continue. Continue.
Purpose or any prison quarters set apart for the
detention of
prisoner waiting trial.
Awaiting trial.
Yes.
So that would be remand, isn't it?
Remand.
Confinement can be that.
No.
Confinement is all part of the prison premises.
Yes, but the law.
The law, them say.
Just hear me out, David. The law does not say that such an officer can be detained anywhere in the prisons. It gives you a list of 3 options.
Nane, comme loi senti comme a prisoner kili akajanya, aware warotebo direct do uneno in the prison kapan kake. Oba pini ni binabanwara muneno.
It says remand.
Follow nane remand.
Guard room.
In la nisanke mioni guard room.
Or the staff quarters.
Wala staff quarters.
Those are the 3.
Yes.
It does not say that you put them in confinement.
Confinement.
You agree with that?
Agree on that.
Okay, so just hear me out. You agree that the act does not say you put them in confinement?
It's to my discretion because imagine the officer is going to be convened for temper investigation.
Where to keep the officer would be to my discretion. If I know,
can you show me? Yes, please proceed.
If I know that keeping him at one place or like the remand, he would tamper with the investigations, I will use my discretion to keep him at a place where he would not tamper with the investigations.
One-man cell in confinement.
In fact, in a one-man cell at the confinement.
Could you show me in this act where it says that you have a discretion to put them in confinement?
And now so dear actor with the Luay. Tanini Simatiko, oh, now Abeka Jike man, our Mansumi man, Manuel Mucaneno, Moonen up and now dear confinement. We sort of.
But neregretate.
One man cell.
Discretion immunise.
Like I said, like I said, that is not in the law, but I used my discretion.
But you cannot take power that is not given to you by the law. Do you know that?
I can use my discretion.
I know I can use my discretion.
What do you understand that phrase to mean? I can use my discretion. What do you understand it to mean?
Fellow, I can use
my discretion. If you use discretion, mean is separate. One man cell.
No fellow, come on, you middle.
Only nyarege. Nene for use discretion, mean separate. Tam could temper an investigation. You know.
Like I said, I kept him in a one-man cell. That is using my discretion so that he will not tamper with the investigations.
But are you aware that you are not given that discretion by the law? The only discretion the law gave you is to choose one out of the 3 options. It did not give you the power to choose a 4th option, an option that is different from those listed in the act.
But I will see figures to the Abarabaja Yake, but when Lua senti, Mo Benento, Yona Regania, Lua sentio.
Moragania, Dakomo, but facilities a budget.
I am accepting that, but there were no facilities.
Where we
can keep him and he will not tamper with the investigations.
But I am sorry, what you did is abuse of authority. You acted unlawfully.
Anyway, any inform authorities. Nene ubaju plus so for no tate.
Even if I had gone against the law, I have already informed my authorities that we don't have a place to keep him, and therefore we will keep him at such a place.
No, David, you wanted to punish him.
Nani David Kantumo, our mama be take orek kano warriere.
That is why you put him in the most horrible place in Mile 2 prisons.
Kam no yote bo bina ban man mi bo fa man rie di prisonnier di kasse tanatan man mi to fa man rie mu tebo mu jokuloto pour man ba ngol dem fu nya fi ngol fu jillen.
No, but I mean, you just see if I can.
No, I did that because there must be an investigation. That is why I kept him there.
You first send report back to the ministry and NIA.
And I must give the report back to the ministry and the NIA.
But David, this was not an investigation. This was a torture session for confessions.
Nanu kandu kisi. Nanu uri etek anomambi anar sanken anar regu mate ko remelge nyinge kane.
You have agreed to that?
Well, I did not beat him, and you are saying I beat.
No, I did not say you beat him. I am saying that there was no investigation. It was a torture session to extract confessions because, according to you, they must confess.
Ekano warriye. Purman uliteno. Purman bangol na rek. Wana umami bejame. Ona mangi beregi.
Ni mambe achilare to bora aunoro de mone bateke moka ni reply back menen inauto.
Nya inge limore nene.
Awre go majam.
I know counsel did not say I beat, but it was the interpreter that said I beat. That is why I said I did not beat.
Okay, all right. We've had Martin. Everybody beat. All right, thank you. But focus on the commissioners when you answer questions. And I would leave this issue. The commission would decide whether you had authority to do what you did. I'll now move on to the next point. Do you know a person called Ibukan?
Ibukan.
He used to run a gas station
gas station
near GPM.
GPM
station
gas station.
Gas station.
Gas station.
Essential.
It's petrol.
Essential.
Yes. Nima Yoman?
Yes, I know him.
And you used to go to him to take fuel?
Manu jejo be body o bengar gase. Essential di kanyana kola.
Apalon.
He is a friend.
Yes.
He is a friend.
And you used to go there to collect fuel?
Manu jejo mambu nubojubo essential.
Request yan menen ni mama mara men fuel passion.
Whenever I request for him to have help with fuel, he would always do so.
And he was bribing you with fuel so that you can treat Musa Suso well while in prison.
Nani o ala kola kese ni essentiel pro mamba ande awuni pro apo mambo on kan Musa Suso jak di prison danam memang kokole.
Sanken for.
We never discussed that.
Naragam nani solaja fuel in your marambenom.
What he told me was, whenever I need fuel, I should go for him to help.
How did you know him?
Nya abuno manjo.
Najala joro nani ande Musa na mangejuk.
He came to the prisons and requested to see Musa.
And who introduced you to him?
Nya awa isini mi aw di o. Akame manji manjor.
Nana apulum ka ejuke ande Musa.
When he came, after meeting Musa, he then came and met me in my office.
In the petrol station.
Then he introduced to me himself as somebody that works at a petrol station.
Assistant fuel.
Whenever you need assistance with regards to fuel, you should always consult me. I will help.
Did you sit with him and Musa in your office?
Nula kola ko audi o di Musa di office yolu.
Ajala me kayuti prisoner. Bengo na prisoner be di office mbo wante do visiting room.
Someone that comes to visit a prisoner, bring in the prisoner to my office. Will my office serve as the visiting room?
answer the question.
David. No, it has not happened.
But the allegation, you see, you denied this allegation in court that you were not given any fuel by Ibukan.
Ane bare gane ko ganinya hani court banu jomi nyos bod none aw musutu ngar essence dikanye kati Musa.
Did you?
Kote ci lañu e mati nje koti mbo ye banjul ye yende uba nje e jorgo.
Yet bobe sanken lawlo.
E Bundung.
I was not present because the court in Bundung, I've never been there.
I did not say talk about the court in Bundung.
Ana sanke de kueti court mi Bundunde.
Like I'm saying, the hearings were held at Bundung.
What do you say to the suggestion that you are being bribed by this fuel given to you by Ibukan so that you will help his friend Musa Suso in the prison?
Nyawanu baje bere koma mbuku kure kusata meno kone Musa Ibukan oba seneri gas wele pour mambangol na buntori pour kueti Musa Suso mukano reho deru di prisine
Inje Musa be ka buntori nyemban mate miriri so majo butumante wao.
How would this one help? How would I help Musa? Is it that I supposed to release him to go home or what?
David, lots of accusations have emerged that you were receiving bribes in order to help the certain inmates in the prison. That was normal in the prison. And normal in many prisons, for that matter.
Prison sa menge fang mo ko kane meno dane bare aw bu kana kamen ko sankene moli de man de ko aw bu kana ko mulle ngo waxaw ko seni pour mbungo nu rambe ni bu kana kolye kandum de kaso e man ko kule nu rambe nu mbu mon ko tum kala ka ko do sonia
ni karamen kita prisoner
Helping a prisoner
ampu kana wanawani
even if you would do every other thing
or liberation and majo good.
All he wants is his liberty to go home.
No. David, prisoners would want a little bit of comfort in the prisons, wouldn't they?
David, a prisoner pop na mang wateri ke pomuno mana ayolo diru prisoner kantumo.
O kayolo nibu di sele ni kupalo nya kayolo kanabu.
He is in the cells with his colleagues. So what kind of comfort would he need?
Extra visits?
You
would have to approve that, wouldn't you?
Yes, I used to do that.
Okay, and when families come and bribe you, you allow visits?
Bribes as in what?
Extra fuel for your car? Generator?
Generator?
Yes.
Generator.
Sorry?
Generator,
I am asking, who do you say gave me a generator?
And TVs?
Please answer first. You said who gave me the generator?
David, remember I asked the questions. You answer
extra.
You are busy taking bribes left, right, and center in order to give favors to certain prisoners. And that is the truth.
I am a human being.
And Broko Bumbo.
My work.
Prisoners.
My
officers.
And my officers.
In the other way, in English language.
The other way, in the English language.
Lead prisoners with humanity.
It's a phrase that goes to say, lead prisoners with humanity.
And lead them law-abiding.
And lead them law-abiding.
And prison officers would take bribes to make them feel more comfortable and more law-abiding, correct?
Nane oto ñu yisi semere ko prison officers ko benga bribe pour ndu ko ngolen ko kambo kan manje ko man ko jawri luway jak na man luway rek meno.
That was the culture at Mile 2 prison.
You can be chosane Mile 2 prison.
Because we be charging officers.
Sorry?
For that? Yes. We be
Yes,
charging officers for
because
that.
we have been charging officers for that.
But you cannot charge yourself, can you?
But I don't want to charge for a folly, could he?
I'm the head. I have the discretion to do.
Yes.
To support.
Yes.
I am the head. I have the discretion to support.
And when you receive support from a family member to do something, that is normal, isn't it?
Yeah, I would from Bendi family yeti ake. I would do more and Joe.
And family nika support on Nibu.
And comes Obaja support the family.
The family support Nibu.
What type of support are you referring?
For instance, I bring 4 TVs to the prison, and 3 would go to the prison officers, and 1 would go to the office of the director of prison.
And come anangaloja and from Benfati telesono si baki.
Was that normal?
Si fijire so put up beba prison office, but yakone your door officer yoli more and Joe.
It's lawful to me means one in there is just for prisoners to be comfortable in the prisons.
That was lawful to me because what I was doing was for prisoners to feel comfortable in the prisons.
And also for prison officers to feel comfortable.
Because prisoner officers feel
Modi?
Yes, that is it.
And for the...
Yeah, for both of them.
Yeah, I was there for both of them.
And in helping the prison officers to feel comfortable, the Director General must also feel comfortable.
Yeah, karamena katiko prison officers kwali mbekwana ko badwa nya mesumi mi. Aw pop mu bad mi wosumi aw.
I'm prison officer pop.
I am also a prison officer.
So when 4 televisions come, 1 would go to the Director General and 3 would go to the inside prisons.
Kongola jasi telas. Si fije so bejo babu prison officers yakuni nejo babu au Director General.
Yeah, items should be that.
Where we receive items,
we collocate all cells.
We locate them or allocate them to all cells.
Cells, some spacious.
The cells that are spacious. Then those things will be placed. The number that we receive,
we distribute it.
We understand. We understand. And you also received from Ibrahima Job?
Ibrahima Job, boba jama ngare di kanyana kola.
Ibrahima
Job
brought for his brother.
That's right.
In his cell.
And he brought 4 pieces.
Yes, he brought 2 TVs. Yes, we do agree that. I do agree on that.
And
because government did not spend any dime on that.
That's so. And 1 went into your office?
Yes, in my office, yes, I said it.
Do you recall, first day you testified here, you told us, no, it was your friend who bought televisions.
I know, yes, I did. He's the first person who brought these things.
Okay.
He's the first person.
So now you accept that Baba Job's family bought TVs that they brought to the prisons, yes, and you were given one of them. Yes.
No.
You just accepted that. You just said that
I don't have any TV in my house.
But you have in your office.
Office is government premises, not my building.
Did government supply you with a TV?
No, I said it here.
And the TV is for your comfort, isn't it?
Of course, why not?
So you have to get it from the family member of a prisoner?
If they wish to.
That is a bribe.
That's not a bribe, because everything is a place in Mile 2. Not a bribe, you can take it out home, but not a building, a government premises. It's for the comfort of prisoner. I said it here that why I did that, just to control the movement of prisoners in the yard.
And the generator?
Which generator? I made it very clear here. Generator, and I deploy female wing. Sorry, juvenile wing. 4 kV.
I made it very clear here. The generator was from the juvenile wing. It is a 4 kV generator. I borrowed it from that. Because I had some strangers back home, because that time I did not have electricity at my house.
I was on the process.
Then I was in the process so that I will be supplied with electricity.
So you get your move use.
I took the generator to my home and we used it. That very day it got spoiled.
Mechanic.
I took it to the mechanician.
And you continued to have no electricity?
You know,
then Namek had already given or brought my electricity.
David, please. Respect the commission.
And David Sabari way bunker ubunya.
But I don't show me again. You
asked
your area. When did the electricity come there? We will ask NAWEC. Hold on a second. We will ask NAWEC,
yes,
to give us the precise date when your area got electricity.
Be
careful, don't lie. Okay.
The family,
what I'm saying is the truth. I am not lying. What you people allege here is that Baba Job bought the generator, Baba Job's family bought the generator for me, and that is not true.
Baba Job's wife is lying.
Of course.
But Ibu can. Okay, just hear me out, answer one by one.
Okay,
okay, all right, Jehalko.
If you wish, you could go to Joshua prisons and see for yourself the generator that I replaced.
We are not talking about the generator from Joshua prison.
Like I said, the generator was from Joshua. That's the generator I borrowed.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. So Baba Job's wife lied about giving you a generator, correct? That's what you said.
Of course.
But she did not lie about Baba Job's brother giving you the televisions. Correct?
Is for the prisons department.
My arguments are, if you indicate that Baba Job's brother gave me the TVs, they were for the comfort in the prisons.
And also the comfort of the Director General.
Why not? An officer.
And
Yes,
just like the fuel was for the comfort of the Director General.
The movement of the prisons.
Yes.
It's my comfort because we sometimes and we are emergency fuel
in law.
Sometimes we would need
in law. You are accepting a bribe. They gave you these privileges so that you can treat their people better in the prisons. That is precisely the reason.
You can't Tonya. We manage me.
What I know is that when I have a constraint and they come into support,
it's normal.
That is normal.
Exactly.
For the function of the government of the day.
Because it was for the function of the government of the day.
Who is to give you money for the running of the prison?
I want to master the in the prison.
Government. Ministry.
Should you be accepting gifts from family members of inmates?
Where
somebody offered
smoothly.
For me to be able to run the administration smoothly. I would accept.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, perhaps this is a convenient time to stop for the first break, and then we will return for another session. Thank you.
We will come back at 12 noon. Meeting is adjourned.
bi jeex na depuis démba xettali ma rek ni jaay nga jëndal ma kaas pawa balaa yére yi di wow dama passé
fii amoo fi benn xaalis laa amut waaw may ma tuuti rek waaw Mamadou waaw ma ne dimbale ñu rek nga yónni ñu kaas pawa léegi suñ kaas pawa moo jeex depuis démb ok baax na
waaye yow ni jaay jaaxle naa de yow Mamadou naka lam ñoo jëndalee kaas pawa te fekk mu ngi bitim réew ni jaay
xanaa xamuloo ne ak balu waaye mën a nekk ci bitim réew mun naa yónnee njabootam kaas pawa ni ngay def yomb na da ngay log on to www.baluwo.com nga jëndee courant ci compagnie yi nga xam ne ñoo saytu wàllu courant ci dëkk yu mel ni Gambia Sénégal Mali Nigeria ak Sierra Leone.
Indeed, you shall die, and we shall die too. Then only day of judgment we shall have our dispute in the presence of the Lord, and then be severe as so. Put your trust in the Almighty, the merciful, for it is I who watch you stand up and pray. And when you are among those who adore him, for his omniscience, I stand up and omniscient. Oh, yeah, Lord. And when you are among those who
You never ever see your white blood, yo. And you never ever see your black blood. No discrimination. You never ever see your white blood, yo. And you never ever see your black blood. You never ever see your this anthem, what's up, the great Benjamin? Spreading jalo in this fantasy world. God bless to each and every one.
Almighty is great, Allah is one. God is one. It don't feel a big like a buffalo. Spend your life in the water low. One love, one heart, one love. Even a heart. Oh, ja, love. Oh, ja, love.
the highest and the greatest are the Most High Allah, the one and only one that man should above, for every knee shall bow and every tongue shall praise. Who give up each day our daily bread? Me tell you, God provide and man survive. So we have the rich while we have the poor. Me tell you, him propose and man dispose. Thou shalt not kill, neither won't or steal. Respect your manhood and never tell a lie. Believe in God will never be perished. The most merciful and beneficial, Almighty God, oh creator all. Well then, you live in that then. Seek for your blessing. Let them know that you know. Let them pray and you pray. Blessing what we need. The whole world I need. Well then, you live in that then. Seek for your blessing. Let them know that you know. Let them pray and you pray. Well then, you live in that then. Seek for your blessing. Let them know that you know. Let them pray and you pray. Blessing what we need. Ja.
Oh, ja, love. Oh, ja.